What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Xzibit, rapper Xzibit. He is still going through child support drama with his ex-wife. You know, they divorced back in 2021. She is still hounding him for money. And I think her desperate need for money now comes from the fact that she had to evacuate the home that she shared with Xzibit. Now, Xzibit didn't even want her living there. Well, he let her live there with her new boyfriend, who she allowed to live with her. And I don't know how that relationship went. I don't know if he's still with her, but he wasn't bringing no income to the relationship. So what does she do? She goes back to Xzibit to get money out of him. Now, this has become a pattern with a lot of these divorced women. They don't have any creativity. They have no drive to be successful. They're married to a man who's successful. Then they divorce that man and still think that man is supposed to support her when she moves on to another relationship, living in a house that he paid for. He wanted her out of that home, but she still stayed there. And she has been fighting with him for years for more alimony. I believe he pays child support for their son, but she wants more, right? Because it's never enough when it comes to a lot of these women. They want out of the relationship, but they still want you to take care of them because they can never find another man who is as financially stable as their ex. If he's such a bad guy, right? He did these things to you. Why do you want his money? Why do you keep taking him to court for more and more money? You would think that if you won out of the marriage, you would just leave and that would be the end of it, right? But see, we are in a child support alimony era where these women don't want to leave empty-handed. And I think that with the fire and the fact that, before the fire, she wasn't doing anything for herself, just living off his money. Now she's forced in a position where she has to get a job. She has to provide for herself. And these women don't know how to do that. They don't want to do that. They just want to live off their ex, right? So let's get into this article. His Xzibit's estranged wife is back in court claiming she's still experiencing extreme financial hardships since their split in 2021. And now she's asking the judge to force the rapper to fork over more money to get back to the luxury life she once had. When you leave that marriage, heifer, you leave that luxurious lifestyle behind. I don't know why that's so hard for these women to understand. When you want out of a marriage, you leave that lifestyle behind. You don't get to have that lifestyle once you're gone. If you want out of the marriage, you want to go date somebody else, go date another rich man. But the fact that this woman has been fighting for years after the divorce to get money, she claimed that Xzibit's brother told her that he was making $1 million a month from his cannabis business, which he denies, but there's just a lot going on with this dynamic. And the main thing is that she feels like she's owed something. TMZ Hip Hop obtained the court docs obtained by X's ex, Kirsta Joyner, on Thursday, hoping to modify her existing spousal support from the West Coast rapper after she says her lifestyle has been downgraded. Well, that's what happens when you get a divorce. You either need to get a job, do something, because you can't just leave somebody and say, no, I don't want to be with you anymore, but I still deserve a luxury lifestyle. She's not talking about her son with Xzibit. She's talking about herself. The money's for her and her lifestyle. You see how delusional they are? According to Kirsta, she and the 12-year-old son she shares with Xzibit had to move out of their 4-bedroom, 4-bath home they were renting for $10,000 a month, and she doesn't have the means to buy herself or son designer clothes. First off, your son doesn't need designer clothes. Now, she's talking about like Nike, Reebok or whatever, Puma, whatnot. They have those at, decent rates, I would assume. If she's talking about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, or whatever, that's what she's talking about. Your son doesn't need designer clothes. Okay, as long as you're buying him clothes and shoes or whatever that, that is adequate for him, that's just fine. I'm pretty sure Xzibit could buy those things for him. She's talking about herself. She feels like she deserves that. Kirsta says she's unable to pay her bills, car insurance, and take weekend trips, and claims Xzibit would rather spend his money on his girlfriend's luxury car instead of paying for his son's private school tuition. She also claims Xzibit hasn't made attempts to see their son since September of 2024. That's interesting because on her Instagram, she has a picture of Xzibit with their son. I believe it might have been during the summer. But again, women always play this card. They claim that these men don't go to see their children, but what they don't tell you is that these women fight to keep these men away from their children. They will file restraining orders. They will tell those men not to come to their house. They will do little things to where that man says, you know what, whatever, right? It's sad, but that's the reality. If she made the environment less hostile, he would go over there and see his son. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but what can you do when the whole justice system is built towards always giving the women the custody of the kids and giving the women the power over the children? That's what they do. In addition, there are alleged incidents of domestic violence, of course. Kirsta claims Xzibit and his girlfriend Valerie Eagleson fought her in front of their son at a studio in August of 2022 that left her with skin abrasions. Now, I haven't heard of this happening. She must have kept it to herself because she's filed numerous amendments to her child support and spousal support over the years. So this must be new. And I wonder who started that fight. She also claims X slammed her son's head on the table for having memes of ex-girlfriend on his phone. Now, again, these are claims from her. We don't know if this is true. Why would he have memes of his girlfriend on his phone? Where do y'all think he got those memes from? If this is true, I totally condemn that. But this is her side of the story, and there are different sides of the story. But this is her laying it on thick as to why she deserves more money, even though this has nothing to do with why you need more money. This is more of a situation where she's just throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. And if he really did this to your son or to y'all's son, why would you want him around your son? Why would you claim that he hasn't seen his son since September of last year, but then you're claiming that he slammed his son's head on the table for having memes of his girlfriend on his phone? Why would you want that man around your son? She asked the court to increase her existing child support to $9,000 per month and spousal support to $21,000 per month. Y'all see this? So she wants to combine $30,000 a month. This is all about her getting more money for her lifestyle. I told y'all she was dating a struggle rapper, had the man living in X's house that he paid for, and that man is contributing nothing to the household. So of course she goes back to X. Plus, she wants a finding that X owes her more than $750,000 in arrears. She also looking for X to cough up $300,000 in attorney's fees. Kirsta's previous child support orders was based on a rap star making around $25,000 per month, but now she's convinced that he earns a minimum of $134,000 a month based on bank statements. Well, I wonder how she would know this. This woman has been fighting him for more money for years. Now, we're seeing these claims that he's been not only putting hands on, well, him and his girlfriend put hands on her, but also that he put hands on his son, the same son she claims that he refused to go see. This is a play for more money. That's what this is. This is a shakedown. X has been getting shakedown for money for ever since they broke up in 2021. There's been numerous stories of her going back and forth to court seeking more money after she divorced him. These women, I never will understand this. You want a divorce. He's such a bad guy. He's putting his hands on you, but you're constantly wanting money from him. You would think if he was such a bad guy, you would go your separate ways and never look back. But it's always about the money. It's always about the money. And she's going to continue this because she's a lazy woman that don't want to work, that has no business mind. You would think that she was married to Xzibit, she would have some connections, but obviously she doesn't. She was too busy spending his money. That's why they got divorced in the first place. And that's why he moved on and she moved on as well. But she didn't move on with anybody that had money like that because she's been constantly going after him for money. So let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts, like the video and share. Follow me on Facebook, X, Instagram, and I'll see y'all next.